MS Word can measure speaking ability. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. 3 students of similar ability have a 17-minute conversation. They record it with their phone and transcribe just what they said. MS Word gives their ability and their improvement. Simple. Before the test. The first day placement test gives partners of similar ability. The 3 students who scored highest will be test partners. The 3 who scored lowest will be partners. And every group in between. With partners of similar ability, the test will be fair and accurate. Simple. Week 4 is their first conversation test. It's a practice test. Everybody who shows up on time makes an A+. Simple. They love that. Having a practice test early in the semester has 3 great virtues. I get to know their ability before they improve too much. They understand early on what the class is about. Because it's practice, I don't have to waste class time on detailed instructions. So, on week 3, I show them a 3-minute video of a test.
Actually, the thing that I most want to do is art, but my parents want me to experience other values on semester break, so maybe I'm going to go backpacking to Japan with my family, not a package tour.
Then I say, okay, everybody show up on time, have a conversation, and try to use some new vocabulary. Remember, it's a conversation test, not a speaking test. Everybody should speak about the same amount. The purpose of this test is to show you how to make an A+ on the next test. After class, I send a mass email with their test partners and time. During the test, I watch. I record it with my iPhone, I've got a timer, and their grade sheet. Here's 4 hours of tests in 30 seconds. Watch how hard I work. During their conversation, I jot down a holistic basic ability score. This is just my opinion. I'm not worried about being exact because they will have 3 tests with 6 different partners. Their average score will be pretty accurate. I take notes of the most common mistakes. In my case, imperfect communication. We were a couple, but now we're broken. Self-correcting. Where did you meet? I used to jot down the new vocabulary they used. However, this is not necessary because their vocabulary is listed and underlined on their transcript. I used to jot down the mistakes they made. This is not necessary because they find and fix their top 5 mistakes. Simple. After the test, I send a mass email with the MS Word transcript template and a link so they can watch the transcribing instructions. The instructions are simple. Delete the example information and type in your own. Simple. If you want an A+, it looks just like this. After I get the first correct transcript, I send a mass email to everybody else and say, wow, she did it perfect in only 2 hours. I never go blah 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 explaining. Their listening is not that good. I just give them an MS Word template and keep repeating. It looks just like this. Simple. Sunday afternoon, while I'm binge watching Game of Thrones, 90 students are each spending 2 hours transcribing and improving. When I wake up Monday morning, their transcripts are in my email box. The subject is their class number and name. The date shows they submitted on time. This shows they remembered to attach their transcript. Simple. When I walk into class on Tuesday, their transcripts are on my desk. Simple. So, their transcript shows how many words they spoke, how many times they spoke, their average words per utterance, the new vocabulary they used, their top 5 mistakes. Students do all this in 2 hours or less. They just fill in the MS Word template. Simple. Grading the test. Basic ability counts for 20%. Total words, 20%. Vocabulary, 20%. Their top 5 mistakes, 10%. The transcript, on time, more or less correct format, 30%. And here is their grade. It's a test like any other test. Different factors carry different weights. We measure how much students do, not how much they do wrong. Simple. Showing the grades. I tell them, everybody who showed up on time made an A+. Your next test will be graded like this. Just like this. What gets tested gets done. Simple. Then I say, okay, does everybody know how to make an A+ on the next test? Then I show their partners for the next test. How many words you spoke on the first test determines your partners for the second test. Those who spoke the most will be partners. Those who spoke the least will be partners, and every group in between. This makes the test fair and even more accurate. Simple. This is their speaking ability. It's a communicative test, and MS Word measures precisely how much they communicated. Easy. There. On Monday morning, after the first test, I know their speaking ability and their partners for the second test. Easy. Students realize that every homework, every class is preparation for this specific conversation test. What gets tested gets done. So, that's their ability. Here's their improvement. This is typical improvement after the second test. Average words per utterance increased 60%. Longer speaking is smoother speaking. Total words increased 20%. That means shorter pauses and fewer pauses. That's 40% improvement in only 4 weeks. I show students their data and say, wow, your speaking ability improved 40% in 4 weeks. Let's do this some more. What gets tested gets done. This is a direct, objective measure of their speaking ability and improvement. Now you can stop grading speaking with grammar mistakes. Tennis improves tennis, golf improves golf, piano improves piano. Why is it so astonishing that speaking improves speaking? Details. Before the test, I do not take up class time with detailed instructions. I show the 3-minute video. Simple. I do not tell them the importance of how many words they speak. I do not want them hogging the conversation. I do not tell them the importance of vocabulary. I do not want rehearsed vocabulary-filled paragraphs. I do not tell them about the transcript. I do not want them stressed. I want happy, talkative campers. They never complain that I never told them those things because everybody makes an A+. Simple. After the test, they know the importance of speaking, vocabulary, and asking follow-up questions, and they will do more on the second test. This will improve their speaking ability and give great improvement data. What gets tested gets done. Feedback. This is a new century with new technology. Students listen to themselves, type what they said, read what they said, compile their own data, self-correct, in only 2 hours. The week after the test, students come in at their test time with their test partners and watch their test. That's what I call feedback. While they're watching, you could look over their transcripts, read a book, check your email, or grade other homework. Student survey. Is the 17-minute conversation test too long? 93% of students are fine with the 17-minute test. Longer tests are more accurate and easier to grade. How long did it take to transcribe? 75% of students finished in 2 hours or less. Easy. Would you prefer to have partners with higher ability, the same ability, or lower ability? 99% like partners of similar or higher ability. They realize that better partners up their game. My students like the test. Why? Because I like the test, and they see that. I talk it up and create enthusiasm for it. During test week, they have class for only 20 minutes instead of 3 hours. They like that. They can use the extra time to transcribe the test, study for another test, or meet friends. They have 2 hours of free time. The most important part of their grade is their homework. Therefore, I can give high, lenient scores on the conversation tests. Students then see the tests as an easy way to raise their grade. The test becomes a new best friend. In sum, the test is not too long. Transcribing does not take too long. Students like the test because it raises their grade and gives them 2 hours of free time. If a student is too lazy to do a 2-hour transcript, that's a lazy student problem, not a conversation test problem. Q&A. Is transcribing difficult? No. Low-level speakers speak at a low level. They're transcribing what they said. I'm born in Seoul. They're not transcribing the BBC News. How long does it take to transcribe? It takes everybody about 2 hours. There's a yin and yang. The better speakers speak more and have more transcribing ability. The lesser speakers speak less and have less to transcribe. What if students are not good at MS Word? They soon will be. MS Word is an academic, real-world skill. They won't get a job without it. If they have to learn it in my class, they will. Besides, they're given an MS Word template. They just type. Simple. Conclusion. It's easy. Every student has a phone, a computer, and 2 hours. Students do all the talking and transcribing. It's accurate. MS Word gives their ability and improvement. It works because of human nature. What gets tested gets done. Simple.